while, you wonder why our children, you wonder why people are walking around doing the dark things that they're doing. Danger, danger. The baseline. Let me move a little bit further. I'm turning the page before I get in trouble. Renee, get ready for the emails and calls. But if the matrix exists, that will be a path of opportunity for an unnamed entity to bring harm or cause harm undercover, subliminally, unbeknownst to you. You're wondering why things in society are going the way that they're going. Who's at the control? And I'm going to stop there. I'm moving on. I want to tell you about a couple of dreams I had over the last couple of days. I'm getting to the message. I'm getting there. I've been quiet. It's going to be a few minutes. One of the messages, one of the dreams was this, and maybe somebody needs to hear it. I know the economy is not so well, but do you belong to God or don't you belong to God? Are you chosen or not? Are you commissioned or not? Are you his elect or not? But what I saw was somebody starting a business. And I was there for the grand opening. Renee, I looked around and, this is what we've started, so it wasn't us, but I guess someone had invited me to the grandiose opening. And it was some type of shop of some sort, and I was walking around. They were concerned about the name of the place, but the name was acceptable. The doors were open, and the people were standing in line. There's somebody out there that's wanting to start a business, concerned about its receptance, concerned about the current economical environment. I said I was at the opening. It was open. The name was accepted. But also what came to mind is this. Because of the current environment that we're living in, if you have the opportunity to design that place, have this in mind. And this is not to raise, concerns or fears, but if you have the opportunity, if you have the resources, and if you have the means, if you were looking to have just one bathroom in that place, consider having more than one bathroom and maybe a shower. I'm just saying. If in this place that you're considering opening up, there are going to be shelves to store things or items, and you're in a position to do it, make sure those shelves are movable. You can move them in and you can move them out. Whatever you need to do, consider that. There's so much going on in society, and sometimes we're not currently in positions to help. But if you have the type of place that can be used as a stationing area, maybe for storehousing medical equipment, or storehousing emergency food, or having a place where first responders can come in and get refreshing. I've done my part. I've spoken in the air. There it is. One thing I thought about is inflatable mattresses, but if you're in the process of thinking about opening a business, I saw it open. I was standing in line, and there were a lot of other people standing in line too. Next, a few days ago, one of our grandchildren came into the house, and they opened the door, and a moth flew in. Just as clear, just as vivid, and it went up on the wall, and I looked at it, and I guess just then I was supposed to wake up, and I woke up, and I heard these words, a moth to the flame. I've heard it before in the past, but I had to do research and look it up. Doesn't matter what I saw. I'm just telling you what I saw and what I heard. The words were a moth to the flame. Okay. The final dream was just 2 nights ago. And it may very well have something to do with me talking about the repository of pulls and pushes. And that place that goes tweet, tweet-a-lee-a-lee, tweet, tweet. Anyway, but in the dream, it was back to back within the same dream. The first thing that happened is a man came to my front door running up. And in my mind's eye, and this is nothing, I'm not talking about any religion despairingly, but it popped into my head for me to know the arena it was coming from. The man running to me, the mind came it was a Jehovah's Witness coming to my door. I'm not saying he was a Jehovah's Witness, but he was representing the religious side. Came to my door. When I came to the door, he grabbed my forearm. And I looked at him in the face, and at some point of him grabbing the forearm and me saying, "Let my arm go," he looked back at me. He says, "I don't have your arm." And I was able to close the door. Immediately after that, there was a vehicle coming full speed in reverse on a snowy ground. It was like, this person is up to something. That's what I saw. The next scene was I was on the other side of a fence monitoring because I knew something was going on. And 2 men got out of the vehicle. This was right after the Jehovah's Witness scene. Again, nothing against Jehovah's Witness, but the person was a representation, had to do with religion. Grabbed my arm, I snatched it back, let my arm go. And now all of a sudden, 2 men came and they got out of the vehicle headed toward the fence where I was. And in my mind's eye, they were acting like thieves and robbers. As they got near, I ducked my head looking at any point that they were going to reveal themselves. Again, snow on the ground. So I grabbed snow, and it wasn't the type of snow, bear with me in this folly, to make a good snowball, but it was a light, fluffy snowball. And as I heard the men coming close to the gate, because I knew they were up to no good, I tossed the snowball out, and I guess it was enough to shake them up, because they went running the other way. And then immediately after that, I looked to the left. I'm now in the house, and a vehicle pulls up, parking just like it was a carport on the side of our house. And I looked out of the picture window. And when I looked out of the picture window, there was a bullet hole in this vehicle. And I looked deeper. I went to the other end of the picture window and I looked out, and I realized that it was a camouflage military truck. And the first thing that came to mind, that it was the government, and they were watching. It was 2 men in the front seat. And at that point, I woke up. Oh, I'm moving on. Let's get to the message. Ha! Ha! To be forewarned is to be forearmed. Injustice anywhere threatens justice everywhere. The eyes of the Lord are in some places. No, that ain't what it say. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. I have a scripture. One of the things I tried to, my intent, because some of y'all watching, y'all got